Start recording now, my bad.
Oh.
MH my head.
Yup, my bad. At least, I mean, 15 minutes of the session is okay. I'll live.
But this is a cool one.
Well, that's what I get for
Alright,
not paying
somebody
attention.
recap.
Alright, real quick recap. Daenerys took a sip of the Horn of Balmetria and immediately passed out, finding herself in a cloudy realm seated across from some kind of long-dressed, tall woman who's backlit by the rising sun at the moment. And after a little bit, after some investigation on the gods' part from them not passing out, taking a sip of the drink, and then Raphael and Elena taking a sip, they also pass out and join Daenerys in some kind of dream realm or something. But the next person to take a sip is Lunaria, who appears shortly after Raphael due to her haste. And you also look like a starry void almost.
Do I recognize the other stars and clouds and thunderstorms?
You would immediately recognize Daenerys.
Oh.
You're not 100%. You would recognize Raphael due to him looking more, screaming, and also looking a lot more satyr-like than anyone else looks like their race. Sorry, lost my train of thought. But Elena, you would recognize, but only after a few moments if she says something.
Okay. Do I get the sense that like everyone's? Do I get the sense that Daenerys is okay?
Yes. She doesn't
Okay.
feel. She feels more at ease than the other two probably do at the moment, due to her own kind of mental excursions with prophecy and such.
Okay. I'm gonna think to myself that this is really fucking cool, but at the same time, I'm gonna ready myself for a fight if I need to.
Okay.
I'm just always ready to fight.
What about Iz and Iris? What are you two up to now? Are you two gonna take a sip?
Should we all really take a sip? Like, should we really put ourselves in that vulnerable
Kira's
position?
master. I mean, the best time to do it would be surrounded by 3 allied gods, Jackie. I mean...
Are we being encouraged by the gods to take a sip?
Elena Sleep gets up and shoves the Born of Balmitra into fucking Iris' mouth.
How closely are the gods paying attention to the bodies on the floor?
The main focus of the room is definitely on the bodies on the floor.
Are they concerned at all?
They aren't concerned. Vulcan and Kira... Pythor is the least concerned, being a... While he's a magical being, he's always relied on his might to solve his problems. So he's just kind of standing there awkwardly rubbing his arm and kind of like shuffling back and forth. Because, you know, problems that aren't solved by punching them, not exactly his forte. Vulcan and Kira are kind of readjusting the other 4 with like putting cushions under their head and stuff like that. And Pythor and Kira are kind of muttering back to each other and like waving their hands over, and you can see like little shimmers of magic and stuff as they're kind of examining them. And Kira looks up and says, I get the feeling they're connected somehow. Considering this was mentioned in the prophecy, I think all of you should go. I think you're definitely all supposed to go if you're included in the prophecy. And she's going to hold the horn out to Iris.
And she's gonna waterboard Iris.
Oh my god.
She
Honestly, she might have to. Iris is not keen on the idea of drinking out of this horn and being a limp, lifeless, vulnerable body on the floor right now, surrounded by 3 gods. Even if they are gods, that doesn't mean she trusts them fully.
Alright. Make an acrobatics check. Make a dex save, I'm sorry. Make a dex save.
Okay. Did it roll? No, it didn't.
It's not popping up in chat.
Okay, hold
Did
on,
it? Did you see what was on the dice?
No, it didn't. It's not doing anything.
I'll try to.
Yeah,
roll
I
it
tried to
for
roll
you.
earlier. Nothing works.
Are we still paused?
No, we're not paused at the moment. It's probably just being buggy.
Did you say a check or a save? I'm sorry.
Dex save.
Yeah, it's not doing anything.
Oh, I'm gonna try rolling them now. I'm refreshing.
It's not even letting me hit enter to manually roll a die.
If you need to, we can just roll the dice in DNG General and then add the mods from the character sheet.
Yeah, that's probably what we'll do.
That's what I was trying to do with the Arcana check.
Alright, exclamation point, roll 1d20 plus, well I can't figure out her mod. Wait, your level, your dex character? Oh wait, I don't know what Ranger's save proficiency is. I'll just wait for it to reload.
I can go and look real quick. They're marked.
Yeah,
Look at her character
I'm pulling
sheet.
up her, I'm actually pulling up her sheet right now too. 1d20 plus 4.
Plus 7.
7? Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
her
7.
dex saves.
7. Yep. Plus proficiency.
Yep.
1d20 plus 7. Total 26. God damn.
Iris backs away from Kira and the horn with her hand on her chakram and one hand outraised.
Well, let me see what Kira rolls first here.
Let's say the game's paused now, by the way.
I unpaused it.
Alright, well Kira rolled a 3.
Plus 17.
She tries to dash up to you and trick you into taking a sip, but you kind of backdash just barely. Like the horn kind of brushes your lips a little bit.
Are the other gods gonna help her?
Volcan is not. He's not a speedy type, whereas Kira is very fast.
I mean, I guess I'm saying like Pythor could grapple me.
Did you back up towards him?
I don't know where we're placed other than I'm over here. And Kyra's over here on the map. The game is still paused for me.
Iris wouldn't back up with her back towards someone else. I don't think so.
She would either.
I will say that they're not going to help. Kira kind of sighs in frustration and says, "Fine, you go first." Then tosses the horn to him.
Is extends a wormy appendage and picks up the horn. Man.
How do you even drink that when you're just a bunch of worms?
Very carefully. Let's see. Iz turns it around, looking at the horn. And he's like, yeah, why the hell not? And he takes a nice alcoholic glug of the
Glug.
wine. And Iz didn't bother to sit down, so.
Pythor's eyes kind of widen as Iz doesn't fall over because he's not an ambulatory creature. He kind of just... It's like the witch melting in Wizard of Oz. And there's also, you guys can see that you guys can see that all of the bugs or whatever he is seems to be, or Iris and the gods can see that whatever he is seems to be unconscious in some way. And still, but he is now a mound on the floor, covered by robes and a mask laying on top. And Kira's gonna grab the horn she's gonna gingerly grab the horn and kind of shake a bug off of it. And she kind of like shivers. Nope, nope.
I wouldn't even touch that thing.
And she's gonna take the horn. She's gonna pass it to Volcan and say, fine if you won't drink, then at least help me get them like moved out of the way a little bit so they're more comfortable. She's gonna lean down and grab Daenerys, and then she says, definitely not him though, he can stay right there. I'm not touching whatever he is. I promise.
Iris nods in agreement.
So she's gonna go ahead and grab Daenerys and kind of push her off to the side a little bit next to Lunaria.
Okay.
Do you want to help at all?
Yeah, I'll help.
Okay. As you go to help, she flings a handful of wine at you.
What's that do? It's not gonna go in my mouth.
Nope. But considering Iz can't actually drink it, it must be any amount of touch. So you pass out. As she flings the wine at you,
My god.
That's awesome.
Railroaded.
the amount of the face she's making at me right now.
Very offended right now.
You can be
My
mad
snake,
at.
you're very offended too.
You can be mad at Kira later.
No, I'm mad at you. You are essentially Kira.
At least it wasn't. At least it makes a little bit of sense because he can't drink the fucking wine.
Yeah, all
Do
of his
worms have
words
mouths?
collectively took one
I don't know what the
sip.
fuck he is, Jackie. Me and Seth have talked about it, but I still have very little clue how this works. So, kind of making Seth's shit up as I go. If you'd like, you can make a dex save with disadvantage to try and dodge it.
Dex
It's a
save.
Yeah, dex save, but you got to get above
I
a 20.
can't do it, Jared. I
Oh,
can't.
okay. So I'll do
You
two
have to
of
get
them
above a 20?
then. Yep.
Goodness.
No, not join. Exclamation point roll 1d20 plus 7. Oh, sorry, hon.
Your butt.
Kira's a butt, not me. The
Kira's
horn,
going down.
the horn left your sight, and she asked you for help, and you let down your
She's
guard.
gonna die.
She's gonna die. You're gonna kill a god.
I will kill her.
Okay. All right. So
God
let's go.
damn.
Let's go back to where we were. Lunaria, how are you coping with being incorporeal as you guys wait a minute for Iz?
Dude,
to
I'm
pop
having a
in?
blast. I'm just like floating around all
Just,
over
like,
the
floating
space.
around.
Just
twirling
like
around
the
and shit.
good old days a week ago before you were born.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
I'm having a time of my life.
Lunaria is totally fine, like in her element, because she's only been alive for a week, so she wasn't super used to being physical anyway. So
Yeah.
she's kind of floating around and laughing, and you guys can hear the woman kind of giggle a little bit, enjoying the freedom of Lunaria as she floats and dances around the cloud room.
Hell yeah, brother.
And after a minute of waiting or so, Iz also pops into existence next to you guys. He pops into existence as a dark writhing cloud. Looks like a
Gaseous
ring.
cloud.
Yeah. He looks like a kind of like, it's more like mist and smoke as opposed to cloud. It's not like free and airy. It's more like, it looks almost like oily and like there's things in there.
Greasy.
Yeah. Greasy. Greasy is.
Aerosolized grease.
Is anything you want to do as you pop into existence in this cloud room? And for the sake of this, is you feel pretty clear up here, kind of out of the influence of your this wherever you are. You feel out of the influence of your patron.
Okay.
Anyone else want to do anything up here before I bring in kicking and screaming Iris?
I will not be screaming. I might kill somebody
You
though.
might be kicking though.
Iris pops into existence, arms and legs crossed. She just seems angry. She just seems fucking
Very
pissed.
grumpy.
Yeah, she's just grumpy. But you guys can see that Iris pops into existence, and in this representation of her, while spiritual and kind of cloudy and incorporeal looking, she does have her regular hair, and coiled around her neck is a small snake spirit. Which
Just the
kind
one?
of... Just one, yeah. Larger than her small little snakes, but there's a snake spirit kind of coiled around her neck that kind of like pops its head up and looks at you guys.
So yes, Iris's arms are crossed and her lips are pursed, and she is just glaring right now.
What color is your hair for everyone, Jackie?
Black.
Okay. Straight?
Straight? No,
Is it
it's
straight hair?
curly.
Curly black hair.
Oh.
All right, anyone want to do anything?
No.
No.
All right. Okay, Elena's gonna speak up. All right, that's all of us. Now, what is all this?
All this? Well, all this is all this. And she kind of waves her hand, and kind of the cloud kind of pushes back, and you guys are left sitting on like little puffs of cloud. But you guys can see that you are far above the land of Thylia, looking down upon it. And you guys can see that the whole... I guess we can switch to the map screen for this, since makes a bit more sense. Ooh, wait. Hold the phone. I have a good map for us to switch to. Yeah, we can borrow this one for a little bit. So you guys can see stretched out above you. You guys can still see the stars. The sun is rising in the distance, and the sky is pink and orange and gold. And you guys can see the constellation stretching out above you. And below you, you can see the continent of Thylia. It's kind of like almost like a C shape. And you can see all the many islands down in the Forgotten Sea. You can see the different cloud layers and stuff. You can see down to the south above the Forgotten Sea. You guys can see an endless plain of storm clouds with lightning arcing between them. But you guys are far above that. Far enough up that you guys probably wouldn't be able to breathe up this far. Or at least you'd be freezing. What does anyone want to do after that? Did you have anything else to say in response to her gesture, Blake?
Elena's gonna be a little startled about like being in the air, but then again, she's a fucking thundercloud, so she kind of shudders a little bit. Little lightning sparks flying through the cloud that makes up her. She looks back to the lady. She says, "That's not really an answer. Who are you, and what are we here for?" What the fuck is wrong with you, bitch? You're a terrible person.
So, what did you ask her specifically? Who are you?
Who is she, and what are we here for?
What are we here for? She introduces herself as the goddess Mitros. And you guys are here for the next part of the prophecy. Or at least to get a vision of things to come.
Wow.
I'm gonna butt in and ask her why I'm made of worms.
She kind of laughs. Unfortunately, Kentamane and his ilk are much older than me and mine. I can't exactly speak to his motivations, though I can see he's taken a very deep hold of your spirit. Seems to be molding you for some reason, but I couldn't tell you why, and I'm sorry for that.
Thank you, goddess.
Goddess apologizing? What?
At the very least, while I can't restore your actual physical form, I can let you take a slightly more comfortable form here, if you'll allow me. And she kind of waves her hand, and you take a slightly more corporeal, looking form, similar to how Nathan looks, pretty similar to...
She didn't even wait for consent.
She can hear everything you guys are thinking, so...
Oh, okay.
That's never bothered us before. So what do I look like now?
You look more like the old man is, like a slightly more regular version. She did stress...
Throwback is.
Yeah, throwback
Yeah.
is. Vintage is.
Vintage.
Get your pictures now. Get your NFTs.
It is.
But she does say that while she can, here in her domain, affect how you look, you will still be the same upon returning to Thalia. Anyone else have any questions for her?
How do I kill a god?
She smiles. Kira is most certainly the most free-spirited of my children. And I apologize for her actions, though I am thankful to her for sending you here. And she sighs kind of heavily, and you guys can see, like, as she sighs, the sun behind her kind of dims a little bit, like, briefly, like in a moment of sadness. Though it does pain me that I couldn't have brought them here to see me as well. My power does not extend that far, unfortunately. So, we have until the
This does
sunrise
not
finishes.
answer my question.
Wait, so does that mean she's dead?
Who?
Oh!
Mitros?
Yeah.
She is not technically dead, but she's more of a god as opposed to a physical god like the others on Thalia.
Oh.
Because she gave up her physical form in order to ensure the Oath of Peace happened a long time ago. So she says that you guys have until the sun rises to ask her whatever you wish, and she'll do her best to answer.
Why ask?
My question, I don't
what
trust
was
her.
what was your question? Well, she's not going to tell you how to actually kill Kira.
Hey, Kira, I just said a god.
She knows who you're thinking about.
Oh, I have no more questions for her.
Like, Raphael gets a light bulb moment after being plainly told that she's the mother to Kira, and I'm gonna be like, oh, so, like, what was it? A fucking Vulcan? So it's
Vulcan,
like, so
yeah.
Vulcan was your partner? Please spill the tea. How do
She... Go ahead, sorry.
How do I, like, get him out of the house? Like, what can I do? Like, I wanna be friends with him.
Child, if you continue on this path, I'm sure you'll bring him much more happiness than he's seen in the last few hundred years. I am very grateful to you for getting him outside. It pains me when I can't keep watch over him when he's inside all the time.
Wait, she can't see him when he's inside?
It's more of a symbolic thing. She can probably keep watch over him wherever, but she is the goddess of dawn, is what she is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Makes sense, I guess.
What were you gonna say, Nathan?
Maybe I'll deliver that message. Maybe I'll try to get him outside in the mornings more.
Get him on a morning jog.
I think that would be a good idea. Feel free to tell all of my children how much I miss them.
Of course.
Anyway. Chosen ones. Any other questions before we delve into the more apocalyptic side of this conversation?
Yes.
For we don't have long.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did you give me my gift of prophecy?
No, I did not.
Oh.
She kind of thinks about how to phrase this a little bit. Me and my children, and even Kentamane and his children, and even Thalia, none of us were the creators of the stars. if you have a gift of prophecy, you were born with it, and the veil and weave of magic runs much deeper than even I can see. So something in fate decided that that's what you would need to see, so that's how it happened.
I see. Thanks.
Anyone
I'm gonna
else?
think a question at her so that I don't get chakrammed.
Chakrammed, what's the question?
I'm gonna ask her what's the deal with God, what is Jackie's character's name?
Iris.
What's the deal with Iris?
Yeah, what's the
deal?
deal?
What's the deal?
What's her fucking
deal?
problem?
What the fuck? What is the stick up Iris's ass? Jesus Christ, what is wrong with this woman? Unfortunately, your compatriots' trust is not something I can give. You'll have to earn it from them yourself. I can give you secrets of this world while I have time, but I cannot give you each other's secrets. Anyone else? Elena, do you have any questions?
Did she say that out loud, Jared, or did she say it to Iz's mind?
She said it out loud, but she didn't say who she was speaking to.
Okay.
Elena is gonna kind of rumble a little bit, and she's gonna say, "Why us? Now that you've met us, it's not like we're not exactly the great heroes that they tell about in stories, are we? So why us?"
Yourself.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
I'm just kidding.
Is thinks that out loud. Daenerys thinks it in private. Speak for yourself, says Bugman. Says Million Ants. That's... I suppose that heroes never are who they become at the start of their lives. Even I, at one point, was but a child, a hatchling among powers greater than my own. And here I am today. I wield all this power and I can't use it to save anyone from up here. I can make my little influences and, you know, basically just parlor tricks compared to what Sidon Lutheria can visit upon this land. But as to why you were specifically chosen, as I said to Daenerys, power is greater than me. Chose each of you. But I know that there was a reason for each of you to be chosen. And the longer you hold on to that anger, small lightning bolt, the more it's going to fester in you.
Elena continues to rumble a little bit, but goes silent.
Alright, anyone else? And how about you, Lunaria? Do you have any questions you would ask of me?
Lunaria, being someone born for only a week and extremely confused about everything, she's gonna float up into the sky and keep enjoying her lack of body.
She smiles at you and smiles at Daenerys. She really does have no cares in this world. Anyone else? Has anyone else not gotten to ask anything? What about you, Iris? Did you have any questions? I think you asked something, but anything else? You asked a meme question about killing Gira. Do you have any actual questions?
I have another question.
Yeah.
If Jackie doesn't have a question, obviously. But
go ahead.
My question, so can you see everything from up here? Like, can you see things on like a close level?
Yes and no. My powers allow me to see far and wide, but she turns and gestures down to the land. Yes, I can see, you know, the farmer tending his sheep, but even for me, it's hard to take all of that in. In the lifespan of a god, I've been up here for the blink of an eye at the most. so I'm still learning to see, as you put it, more widely and more deeply. I see much more now than I did when I first ascended, but it's difficult to watch everything at once. And she gestures towards the storm clouds to the south. And then also off in the distance, further, maybe at the edge of the horizon, you guys can see you guys notice a like line of purple shadow very far off in the distance to the east. But there are areas where Sidon and Lutheria dwell that even I can't see through their barriers. Maybe sometimes there'll be a gap in the clouds, but more often than not, those areas and happenings are obscured to me.
Yeah, I know how that is.
Any other questions? What about you, Jackie?
No other questions. She wouldn't answer the one I had that I wanted to know.
She's not going to tell you how to kill a god.
What's the dog doing?
Well, that's all I wanted to know. I'll find out somehow.
Oh my.
Fair.
You gotta go potty.
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, let's go potty.
I'm going to use the bathroom real quick, too. How long do you have until you have to go, Emily?
I think she has 10 minutes. Or 8 at this point.
And dog, hold your horses.
Should we just like wrap it up?
Are you just letting Luna out real quick?
Yeah, yeah. And I can
Sweet.
still hear you guys.
Okay, let's wait for Dana to come back. She said she's in the bathroom. We don't necessarily have to wrap up this whole bit here. I don't mind continuing it later. But we probably can in a couple of minutes.
Cool deal.
When she said when the sun rises, she meant next week.
Next week, yep. You guys have a whole week to talk to her.
Mm.
You got her? Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, she was giving me the look.
Are you back, Dana?
Yes, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just wanted to check. So she turns and gestures out towards Thylia in general, and she says, "Chosen ones, I would share with you a vision this morn, if you'll have the patience for it, before what little power I've exerted here fades. I know you've heard the prophecy, but I think to most of you, you haven't fully accepted what may happen here in Thylia soon." And she gestures out towards the purple barrier you guys could see in the distance, and down towards the storm clouds in the south. Sidon and Lutheria. They work to unleash darker magics that spell the end of Thylia.
Oh.
From what I've been able to gather, and you'll find more information on it later, I'm sure, if you continue on with Volcan and Kira. They'll be able to help you, but there are only hundreds of sunsets left, and I can feel them approaching, and maybe that's part of why I'm weaker than I expect to be from up here. But she gestures down towards Thylia again, and you can look down, you can see rapid fires spreading across the entirety of the continent, a vision of things to come. The beasts that they wish to unleash in order to end the war after the Oath of Peace ends, they are too powerful to be controlled. They were sealed away for a reason. And I fear that time is running short, both here in this conversation and in the world at large. And you guys can see to the south a giant serpent surfaces, waves crashing over all of the islands, wiping them clean. And to the north you can see large beasts the size of mountains trampling down over the land, crushing the cities of Astoria and Mitros and Aresia. And you guys can see that as time kind of progresses faster in this vision, you guys can see that eventually Thylia is wiped clean, and even Thylia itself begins to submerge back into the oceans. The entirety of the continent gone. No storm clouds to the south, not even the purple veil of the Nether Sea out to the east to see, and it's just an empty ocean. Thylia will perish within a year's time if you heroes aren't able to stop it. Each of you was chosen for a reason, and you've done well on your path so far. But I wish to stress to you the seriousness of this. Everything you've known, everything you will ever know. Even the stars, and she gestures up, and you can see that the land of Thylia has been so wiped out that even Thylia's constellations and stars, you can't see anything above you. Even the stars will not be spared in this coming war if Sidon and Lutheria aren't put to a stop. I ask only that you learn to, if not love, at least tolerate each other. And she kind of glances at Iris and Iz, and she says, maybe everyone could use a bit of that childlike wonder to allow them to accept the others in this small group. But our time draws to a close, heroes. Is there anything you need of me before you leave? Before I send you back to your physical forms? And you guys look down, you can see that Thylia is now back to normal, and over this woman's shoulders, you can see that the sun has almost risen.
Raphael's going to raise his hand and put it on the back of his neck and start rubbing it and say, well, that's a lot of pressure.
Anyone else?
What's the monster they're releasing?
She doesn't know their names, but she knows that they will be many and endless.
Oh, endless.
Do we know how to stop this? Or how do we stop this?
She gestures down towards Astoria, directly below you guys. Continue on your current path. The Mithril Forge and the prophecy that you've been given will serve you well in the battles to come. The Mithril Forge especially. But after that, in order to reach Sidon Lutheria, you'll need to look to the oceans. There are few ways to travel the ocean safely in this world, with Sidon being the Lord of Storms. But there is one vessel lost to time. Speak to Volcan about it. He may know more on where it is hidden away, but it's somewhere far out of my vision. An ancient vessel that, when crewed and when with the proper navigation tools, should allow you to navigate the oceans and solve some of your own problems and hopefully confront Sidon Lutheria themselves. Anything else? It's 10:30. So this is the last chance for questions.
Oh yeah.
Anything from you, Emily?
How
about this?
Huh?
We can end here, and if anyone has any questions they want to message me or message in the chat, I will answer them as her. Since we're cutting this a little short.
I don't have any questions. I just feel I feel very at ease. I've never felt more like I know exactly where I'm supposed to be until right now.
Yeah, if any of you had doubted that you were the ones who were to be chosen, I think this is a decent enough. You are the chosen ones. So.
Hello, you are the chosen one.
Alright, so we'll end here. we'll do a little bit of like an outro of this section next time we play, whether it's this Sunday or the week after or whatever. But I'll figure out when we can play next. I'll let you guys know.
Sounds
Cool,
good.
Thanks.
And if anyone
Thanks,
has,
Jared.
and if anyone really does have any questions for that character, that fucking gif. If anyone, ferrets are so fucking stupid. If anyone has any questions for that character or any lore they want filled in, now will be a good time to ask them. So feel free to message me or put it in
You
chat.
can also ask Soul anything you
Soul
want.
is so fucking huge. Look at him. He looks
Jared,
like
make-
some kind of. He looks like
Holy
some kind of
shit.
prophet cat. Like he looks like an
Alright.
NPC you meet in an
Stand
RPG.
up. And hold Soul up like that.
Soul is a long cat.
Jared,
Yeah.
Jared, he totally passed the ragdoll test.
Yeah, he just does not give a fuck.
Okay, so Jared found this TikTok where they do like a ragdoll test with each of their cats. Like one you can obviously
They
tell.
just pick him up by the top and just wiggle him, and like ragdolls just
Yeah.
don't give a fuck. And then but most cats are like, put me
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, and ragdolls are really big too, just like Maine Coons. So I feel like Soul has ragdoll in him.
It probably does.
Because they really don't care if you're like holding them like that or like any other way.
All right, I'm gonna stop the recording.